Today, we have Brother Sid and Brother Will in the house. And this is
Brother Griot too.
And this is a voice from the dark. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I came on here today, because I didn't expect to speak. But when I heard somebody say we were slipping into darkness, pretty soon we're going to pay. But in reality, how do you feel when lied to the government and they charge you with a felony? Oh, but when the government lies to you, they call it politics. I haven't seen anything that remotely reminds me of politics lately. But yet and still, we as a people act like sheep. We go along to get along, and those who have money are too scared to lose it to challenge anything that the government tells us. Now, from what I was told, we the people are supposed to have the power. Documents have been written for the people, by the people, and yet they keep on lying to us, calling it politics.
All right, let me interject and say something about that. Politics dictates a designation policy. So if we as black people live in this country and we see how the policy of this country change year to year, day to day, when it comes to us in the housing, redlining, the distribution of money, how many banks do we have? And basically every aspect of life, like I think Brother Neely Fuller said, in the 9 areas of activity that we're involved in, politics has a role in it. Policies has a role in that. And the policies are all based off of what he called a religion, the white supremacy. So how we allow ourselves to sit with the amount of, I think even in the presidential election, let's speak about that. When black folks clamoring and they jumping over fences and doing all types of stuff to vote for their so-called president of the day. 40 million, I think we 45 million people. Probably we got maybe 27 million registered voters. I think we got almost 26 million Hispanic, almost 227 whites. And they can split parties 4 ways, independent, Democrat, but it don't make a difference. And we would never make a dent in the election of a president of the United States. But now, what they do to us is make us think we are involved in this white supremacist system that they have, and that we are represented in this system, and we have a say-so. And then after the election, we go and claim their parties again. We rinse, wash, and repeat. And every 4 years, we find ourselves as a people in a worse situation than we were 4 years before. Still begging a political party. Changing the political party. I'm a Democrat. I'm a Republican and all this type of stuff from a political perspective, which they think is a political perspective, it really is not. It's just going back to what I wrote about the foolish people. And I wrote one on religion. Well, that's the same way you can write one on politics, economics, and even the 9 areas of activity that Brother Mueller Fuller. Because in all areas of that activity, we not only are fool, but a damn fool when it comes to addressing them head on and addressing white supremacy with control them and see our role in them, our lack of power from that perspective in those areas of activity. In politics, like this, that's the one they always tell you, don't discuss religion in politics. Don't discuss religion in politics because they don't want you reading the paper or looking anywhere where information is bought and sold or put out that affects you, a policy that's going to affect the people that you so-called belong to, because we know we're in a racist society. Everything here about race. You know what race is. Race everywhere. Race on application. Race this, race that. Back in the day, race had that on a colored, white, Negro. All types of race. Race on applications. The census. We live in a country that has to know the race of the people, and every time you see them, they're sitting there talking about God bless America, and we colorblind. We got a president officer with 30-something felony, a sick man, a deranged, a narcissist, and there's no cure for that. And we sit idly by while he dismantled the whole system of so-called democracy. But at least it had a chance. It had something going for it. You know, it had something that every American can get a little piece of it. At least get a house, a car before they live to 80 years and die with something on this earth to leave their children. And that's what goes on in the capitalist system. I don't want to get into the system aspect, but I'll get back to politics. So as far as black folks as a whole are concerned, we need to change how we do the political thing in America and get on blocks and put people in office, if we're going to live in America, and put the people in office and all of us vote as a block, as a unit, and have them address the needs for us as a people.
Well, I believe that J.A. Rogers talked a long time ago about race and racism, but what he talked about was truth, and the truth is at the bottom, or may I say, it is at the core of white supremacy, history being maligned and whitewashed, and nobody wants to hear it, not black, white, pink, or yellow. The truth of the matter is, we are all human beings. But some human beings seem to think because they are part of a government, that people elected them to an office, that they think they have more money than somebody else, that they can trample on the truth and the law, and that they could write that to benefit them and use it as a weapon against those people who seem to be cowardly in that they don't fight for themselves. Now, everybody gets mad when you talk about a coward, but you tell me, what would you call somebody that would come in your house that you pay a mortgage on, that your kids are asleep, your wife is there, come into your home and take over your home, and you do nothing about it? See, this America is not the home of the rich. It's supposed to be the home of the brave. You were brave enough to fight against the English during the American Revolution. But now, nobody can't find that braveness when it comes down to people taking away DEI, taking away federal jobs, including instituting tariffs that we know will do mass damage to not only the stock market, but the allies that were supposed to be fighting or being an advocate for the United States. Does it look like this person that is in charge is trying to help this country?
Well, that's what happened when you're living in the belly of the beast. You see, the beast is so powerful and so strong, and actually, you were talking about power, and actually take the manhood away, because really deep inside, as a man, you know you're nothing but a male when you go against that man. When he tell you come to work, when he tell you do this, whatever he tell you to do, you got to do it. Even if you go making a record like these young brothers out here today, used to be it probably 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. When he told them to bring let's say the N-word on when they say they lyrics, when he told them, man, bring a little more ghetto in it, bring shit, talk about dope and all that, they went along with it, you know, for $1. That's the power this man got over people. That's how that system of white supremacy works. It's everywhere. You know, it turns men who claim they're brave into cowards when they meet that white supremacist, when they meet that man. It's like you say, you go to court, you see him in court. Yes, sir. Yes, your honor. You go on the street, man, that brother slap your mama, man. You slap his own mama. Got the whole neighborhood in fear. But when you go down there with them people, man, that's just from a level of a ghetto level. Let's speak on a higher level. Let's speak on other Negroes with money. When they get you money, you get, you know, I'm talking about what they call rich today. Look at the things the majority of them do. Look who they go spend it with. Give it right back to them. You know, look at the people they neglect. You think they care about somebody called people? They don't look at no people. They for individual. Maybe they got a couple of family members or something. But man, you got enough money, man, to put in, man. If we put in $1 a person, if we pull in that dollar every day, not even a day, let's put in $1 we can repair ourselves. We don't need their reparation. You know? Like I say, we want it, but we don't need it. So we can repair ourselves. We can do these things for ourselves. But just how poisoned our mind is. Just how poisoned we are against each other. Just how stupid we are. You know, we got to admit that we are stupid and foolish people. We need to stop on every level of activity. And another thing, if we're not talking nothing constructive, just like brother Neely Fuller said, we not talking nothing constructive, we need to leave each other alone. We need to go the other way. If a brother come to you not talking anything constructive to build, you know, to make you stronger, iron sharpens iron. Get away from that brother. If he ain't talking about unity, love, if he's talking about anything that brings about unity, yeah, that's the right man to talk to. That's everything around you, all people. You fuck with it until they prove that they don't deserve that kind of respect.
Well,
and we've been used and abused and beat down and lied to and tricked for so long, but we take and turn all that anger against each other. Because like I told you, when that man comes, he been walking in church and they start preaching a whole different sermon. Matter of fact, they don't have to because they preach this sermon anyway. It was all approved by him. You know? Yeah, we got some issues, bro. But there ain't nothing we can't correct because a lot of us already corrected it. And each one teach one. And we had a lot of leaders, all type of people. You could go through a list of books, and I know you can name all of them yourself. You know, from all the books, the Chancellor Williams, the Diops, you know, still got something today, like Small. This is going, the Malcolm, the Martins. There's so many people that have been wonders and have tried to teach us. You know?
Exactly.
Teach us our origin, teach us where our, they even got DNA people come with DNA. Oh, that's wrong, the DNA. They say Africa, I'm not from Africa. I mean, first everybody named us. You know, now probably when we got a chance when we first name ourselves. Oh, Desert Jackson came with African American. Malcolm X said that he was over organization, I think 63, 64. Afro American Unity. Because he had started going to Africa and he became basically, you know, what people try to label as a Pan-African. Just because you love Africa, you want to deal with Africa, and you don't have to name it. You know, just say you're a man that love your people, love your kind, love your ancestry. You know, and the people that white folks got rich off of Africa. So we waiting for it. Oh man, they don't like us. That's the most stupidest, foolish stuff. 74
in that particular argument, the reason why we don't like Africa is because that man told us not to like Africa. And I'll tell you.
That's why they naming themselves today. They got another name they naming themselves. They call themselves FBA. Foundational Black Marriage. Like your foundation, who knows? A foundation, yeah. Yeah, we got a foundation, but brother, the one they talk about, oh, the Indian, we this and that, and we don't have nothing to do with Africa. We hate Africans. Them people ain't us. We forged our own way here. How you gonna everything in you, every way you move, every way you talk, everything, the whole way you look, 80 to 90% of it is African. Now, in fact, 100% because the foundation is African, the root is African.
Well, this is what I know. Neely Fuller says that you are not a man in this system of white supremacy, you are male.
Talk to me.
Because they can't have two men, especially of distinct, differently hued. White supremacy means that the European is the man.
He is supreme.
Supreme. And guess who is one of the people at the bottom? One of the people who are nothing but males in a system about white supremacy. You are not a man in this system when you have to go and beg a man for a job. You give him more respect than you give your own self, your wife, your mother, or anybody else. See, I know some people don't like this. You know, you'd like to probably fight me, but you won't go a doggy position. You understand? Every time you turn around, you get angry when somebody tells you about the position you have in society.
That's what happens when you're in the belly of the beast. You're in the belly. He done already devoured you. You see? And the only way you come out is what? What's the only way you come out of a belly?
Well, I'll tell you, one thing that I do know is this. If we're not in a racist society, and nobody likes to talk about race, and they don't like to talk about government, they don't like to talk about religion. You know the reason why they don't like it? I'm going to tell you the reason why at the very core. At the core of all of this is you do not want your children to hear the truth. You don't want them to see what type of people you are and something.